Well, hello, a very warm welcome to Business Today TV. I am Chetan Bhutani. Well, I am again on the road to cover Gujarat elections from the industrial, economy, and the business point of view. And my coverage in doing for the Gujarat elections will be incomplete if I don't interview the man or the association or the chambers who actually gives the boost to the industry, to the local bodies, and of course to the MSME sector in that state. Thank you, sir, for joining us on Business Today. Tell us about how the industry has been going in Gujarat so far. How did Diwali go? How did the consumption go? Because we are seeing pan-India consumption going very strong when it comes to consumer durable, auto. Wedding season is like very strong right now. How was Diwali for Gujarat for the industry, sir?
Overall, when you come to Gujarat, the sentiments have been very positive over this Diwali. There has been good demand. The consumer sector has been showing robust growth. Of course, when we compare the current scenario with the global scenario, we see Gujarat well poised and well positioned for a big leap. Uh, there has been a second demand globally in other markets. The economy is falling. We see that today, Prime Minister of UK, Rishi Sunak, telling that they are in a state of depression. So among this news, when we see India today, or when we experience Gujarat, I think we are much ahead, much far in a better position. Uh, Primarily, it's because of the governance at center, the state, and also the inherent strength of the Gujarati businessman.
Right, the rupee has depreciated against the dollar, and I'd like to ask you, how is it impacting the industry? Because Gujarat has a very strong industrial base, and import export is a regular part of the industry here. So, what is your outlook, and do you think has it really impacted the business in Gujarat?
I would correct you here. The first thing is, it's not the rupee that has depreciated; it's the dollar that has appreciated,
Yeah.
right? And I think in the current scenario, when we are going towards a phenomenon where we are talking about China plus one strategy, the appreciation of US dollar has basically helped and boost the Indian exports. The On the other side, yes, the demand globally is weak. The Europe is going to the one of the slowest pace. US is not in the best shape. So we are not able to encash on this current INR US dollar scenario. But this is a very apt time to boost the exports, particularly when our goods have become cheaper in the international market. When you talk about imports, yes, no country would prefer their trade balance in favor of imports. So it is hitting imports. India being a crude importer, I think this has hit our pockets badly. But apart from that, the India and Russia relations, and particularly the import of oil from Russia, I think has helped us maintain this disparity.
Right. I would like to talk to you about COVID issues. When I spoke around in Gujarat to different association and traders, many said that the dark clouds of COVID are over. Are they really over completely overall?
See, we are a growing economy now, and we are part of a global economy. When we say talk about India, yes, we have been out of the COVID phase. We are much in a better position, but the world is not at this position yet. They are going through a very slow scenario. The economies are on a negative side. So yes, when on a global front we are not doing very good, but when we see the strong domestic demand, it is very positive. And today, our weakest issue with country, that is the population, is helping us to be its best strength. We have a large volume, a large market available in a domestic to cater, and that is driving the demand.
Right. All right. So fair enough. I want to ask you about another big part that has really been talking point of the state is of course Dholera project. Could you give us an insight? Is it really not taking off? What are the reasons? We know a very big corporate has probably said that it invests. So what's your opinion as somebody who represents the industry overall for the state, and what's the outlook there, sir?
I think Dholera is now poised for the right position. I think, of course, it had to be active much earlier, but somehow it got delayed, and then it was struck by COVID. So we lost good 2-3 years out of that. But now, with the announcement of the semicon production facility that might come up in Dholera, and coupled with the construction of the new international airport that is coming up there, we are definitely positive that the entire industrial ecosystem in and around Dholera sounds very promising. We have a 6 road connectivity that is coming up between city of Ahmedabad and Dholera. So if these things what are talked about are actually going to happen, this is going to change the scenario the entire Dholera has been. Of course, we do not deny that it was dead for a couple of years. But I think the traction which has now it gained with the investments coming, Tata Power is already there. We have RE Industries which have established their production line. And soon we'll be seeing the semicon production facility coming up there. So I think yes, Dholera. We are very hopeful that in the coming days it will be a destination like what Sanand has now become for the automobile industry, or Vitlapur, matter of fact. Similarly, for the next gen industry, it is Dholera that is going to be the destination.
But there were issues about a lot of corporates raised issues about the cotton soil that's the problem there. So you cannot change the soil, yes, but you can change the location. So will Dholera be Dholera, or probably it could be shifted to another place, or the whole infrastructure idea could probably go to another place. Is there any kind of talking on like that front?
I think the strategic position which Dholera currently holds, because Ahmedabad being the industrial capital or the finance capital of the state, any proximity and the development, if it has to happen, it has to happen around Ahmedabad. And Dholera is the area where you have sufficient land available as on date. So we don't see any other option other than Dholera right now where the development could happen. Sanand is now getting quite saturated. Same is with Vitlapur and Mandal, where the automobile industries have come up. So, according to this, we believe that Dholera is well positioned now. The development will happen. It will be slow. Talking about the black cotton soil, what you say, it does definitely that is increasing the construction cost there. But I think the industry which are coming up there and the kind of incentives the state government is offering on the land prices, we see a win-win situation for both for the state and the industries to come up in Dholera.
Pathik ji, I want to ask you about how Gujarat can probably become the next destination after Maharashtra for industries, because there have been really various talks about how Gujarat is poised to develop as an industrial hub, and because Maharashtra has some saturation problems, some water problems, which Gujarat really doesn't have. So, what's your opinion on that, and when do you see that happening of industry destination being preferred to Gujarat over Maharashtra?
There has been a lot of political tug and war and a lot of shouts around the various projects which have recently come to Gujarat. And in this name throwing game, we have forgot the inherent strength the Gujarat has always had, and upper edge which we always had. Couple of years back, when Tata Motors moved from Singrauli to Sanand, people thought that this is something which is out of the box. We should have not done that. So much offers to a corporate should not have been made. Today we see the results of one strategic move by the then CM and now the Honorable Prime Minister of the country, Narendra Bhai Modi ji, that he made sure that he attracted one and then many followed. So that's the way the businesses work. Now talking about the current Vedanta Foxconn semicon plant, Gujarat was the first state to come out with the semicon policy. Now today, if you have a first mover's advantage, when you understand the pulse that post-COVID, semicon was becoming the biggest challenge. Gujarat identified it. They made the policy which was dedicated for the semiconductor. And that's why today we see that it has been a favored destination. Apart from that, the availability of labor is good. The availability of quality labor is good. And at the same time, we have never come across strikes in Gujarat. I have never heard in my career of 22 years in industry that any industry was shut because of a strike here or a union issue here. So that shows the industrial ecosystem which is very friendly and growth oriented.
Right. Okay. To put my last to this set of questions, you mentioned about how Gujarat could be a favorable destination. It has the required amount of labor, the resources. What do you see the contribution of Gujarat for India at 100? We have been leading a campaign throughout the year. I want to ask you about what Gujarat's role could be at India at 100.
See, Gujarat houses 40% of the India's MSMEs. MSMEs has traditionally been our backbone of the economy. So I think that itself answers your question that why Gujarat? And I would rather say why not Gujarat? Because we are so much strategically positioned with the kind of port infrastructures what we have with the roads, the various industrial policies which are very friendly, and the way the new startup ecosystem is developing the state. There is a lot of chance that Gujarat will be the front runner state in the country in the coming years. Talking about India at 100, that is, if India has to achieve the 5 trillion economy or has to become the third largest economy by 2026, it is Gujarat that will have to be the driving factor. Okay. Gujarat has always been the driving factor, but somehow we were not recognized. Today, after the leadership at the center and the state, we see that Gujarat is getting the respect it deserved. we have contributed to the GDP for years, and now we are getting the recognition towards the various contributions what we have made and we are still currently making. And if today, when with just 9% of the population and we are serving 20% of the production, we have to understand that to achieve the 5 trillion economy, Gujarat has to be the epicenter of the growth. And the way the policies are currently framed and the way the Gujarati businessmen are adapting to this policy, I am sure that we will lead the 5 trillion economy from the front.
Right. I just want to ask you toward one thing you mentioned about how Gujarat has become a more town because from Singraur to in Gujarat, how do you see the development of auto sector in Gujarat? Any industrial plans that you think could help the auto sector in the state, and what are your expectations on that?
I think-
Outlook, basically.
Yeah. I think as you see, Gujarat already has become the motor town of the country now. There has been a lot of transition that has happened from Gurgaon through to Gujarat. We have Tata's, we have Maruti, we have Toyota, we have MG. So it itself says that yes, we are there. The they are coming up with their ancillary units. The ancillary units have now been, it's like almost more than 10 years, and they have all settled, and they now understand that Gujarat should have been the destination much before they came in. So there is a sense that more investments will flow. We see that EV, which is the next talk about thing, and we have the battery plant that is coming up in Gujarat, the lithium-ion battery plant. Reliance is getting into hydrogen ion here. So a lot of traction in and around the future generation of automobile that is happening in Gujarat. So of course, Gujarat is going to be the auto space of India.
Well, elections are around the corner in the state. What are your expectations, and who do you think could probably drive the force of the industry, and what measures should the new government take to ensure further boost?
I think the combination of the central and the state government, what we are blessed with it. Okay. When we don't say that it's particular because of a particular political party. Yes, because you have a relation where if two governments are in same accordance, the state gets a benefit, the industry gets a benefit. The implementation of policy of the center and the state are homogeneous, and then they're able to easily adapt in the state. So yes, we are happy with the government here, and we see that in the coming days, the government does listen, and we have some issues which have been pending for a couple of times, but time and again the interaction has been very well. We got a couple of them just resolved before elections were announced. So we see that the government is giving us an hand, and we are very.
Could you mention 2 or 3 issues that you want to basically?
I think one was on the double taxations, like Gujarat Industrial Development Corporation (GIDCs), which houses the industries. Around there are approximately 230 GIDCs in Gujarat, out of which 150 faced issues of double taxation. Whether that is GIDC would collect a tax, the local corporation or panchayat would collect a tax. So this was basically injustice to the industries, and we have been representing from long. And this year we am happy to say that we are able to convince the government, and they understood that it cannot be two ways. So they have worked out a model on which the tax which will be collected by the corporation, 75% of that will be reimbursed back to the industries to manage their industrial estates. So that eliminates approximately 400 crore of additional burden that used to come to the industry. The other was leasing out the industrial properties. For example, if you have property in GIDC and you wanted to lease out, there were 3% charges towards the lease agreement or the lease amount, which has now been reduced to 1%. So this will pave way for various industries to get into GIDCs. There are many GIDCs which are unsaturated right now. So those land movement will happen, and we see a lot of industrialization coming up because of this.
Right. Last question. What are the expectations from the union budget? Any particular demand you see for the industry out there?
I think with the current scenario, what we see is that industry is short of funds. The policies are there.
All the industry you're talking about?
Yes. Overall, if you see, let's talk about RBI. They recently said that the deposit ratio is coming down. Even after increase in rate, if the deposit ratio is coming, that means there is some movement in the economy where there is demand of funds. And you have to give money in the hands of industry, and then it should go into the downstream. So 2 ways: government has to become the spender now, so that the funds get get further down into the economy. And you have to find a policy where industry and trade are given more flexibility with the funds. banks have been asked to lend in a better way. We don't say that it's a public money. We should respect public money, but then you should understand one thing, that if you don't have industries, the country is not going to grow, the economy is not going to go, the economic cycle is not going to work. So the most important for any country is to see that their industries are not cash strapped. You have to give cash to the industries, see the liquidity eases off, and the industries can propel from there on.
Well, absolutely. Very 3 to 4 key crucial points pointed out by Pathik ji, that you need to give money to the hands of people and the industry, solve the liquidity issues, and make tax structure for certain industries very, very easy.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.